So I am very lucky now to have with me a guest tonight, a gentleman who is in many fields. Are we ready to roll now, Dan, with my guest? We are indeed. Will I bring him on screen now? Because we're all anxious to meet this gentleman that I built up. I'll tell you who he is now when I have his picture on screen. And the gentleman in question is, his name is Seamus Houlihan. And Seamus, may I extend my hand and welcome you to In Town Tonight. Well, that's my series.
It's my pleasure to be on your program.
Oh, you make me feel very important.
Thank you very
Seamus Houlihan. Well, Seamus, as I said to my friends now before you came on, I have you tonight as a guest of now. Sit back now and be quite relaxed. Now go on, that's the good man. You are. Sure, you're used to public speaking with all the offices you held over in various areas. You were a projectionist in Limerick for how many years, Seamus?
25 years.
You were a projectionist.
Yes.
Were you?
Well, I started in the Carlton Cinema on the 28th of February 1948.
Oh, it goes back over then, doesn't it?
28th of February 1948. And I wasn't quite 14.
Yes.
I went to work at that age because, well, at that time, a job was a job.
Oh.
And there was big families. And I had great parents. My mum and dad worked very hard to rear 11 of us.
11?
11, yes.
But that was considered a fine job when you got that.
Oh, it was.
And a job was to be envied by all your pals, all the movies you could see for nothing. And we'd have 4pence or 6pence.
But the point I'm trying to stress is that whatever education I got through the trade union movement and doing a bit of night school. And it stood to me in life.
The most important
and
of all.
I'm happy about the life I've had as regards being involved, and I want to publicly say and thank my wife and my 2 lads for the support they have given me, and my own family as well.
Well, of course, the most important education you got was, may I say, the University of Life.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Going through life and following your way through it.
Right.
But anyway, I have you here tonight now mainly as a cinema project. It was a job, and I think I put it well there a few moments ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we envied the fellas who were up in the operating box, and we had to queue at the in the rain and snow to get in, and all of you chaps are above and you're showing them.
Yeah, well,
that was a great job.
I'll tell you, Tom, the first film I showed, the first thing I was given by Larry Casey, which he's still alive and healthy, thank God.
Yes, indeed.
And the first thing, it was on a Saturday morning, and I remember getting a long pants. There was no long pants that time, if you remember. I got a long pants, and the waist of it was up to my chest.
Yeah.
To make my mother wanted to make me feel big.
I know, to get in.
And I was handed a sweeping brush by Larry Casey to. Your job now is to keep the operating box clean. Yeah. That was okay. That was on a Saturday.
And that was was that in the
Carlton?
Oh, the Carlton.
Carlton Cinema. And the name of the film was Of Human Bondage. Paul Henry was in it. And there was a film on the following Monday, Cloak and Dagger, which was my day off. Believe it or not, I went in to see the film as a young kid to watch the film, and they didn't even know who I was. I told them I was walking above in the projection box, and
well, tell me, did you feel that you had that advantage over all your peers, all your rangers, that you could see these films and hobnob on screen with all the great stars of the day, on the Carlton?
Yeah, well, you get bored when you have a film that's lasting. In those days, a film would last 2 or 3 weeks, and the queues that was there.
Wasn't it big reels you used in those?
That's right.
Big reel. And if I remember correctly now, you'd see a fella with a handcart, and he gone down Parnell Street.
That's right.
And he bringing the rolls down to Jackie Burke's place there, the City Theatre, or down to the centre. And a handcart on a Saturday night.
A Saturday night, I remember when before I got married, I'm married for 43 years. I remember my wife Geraldine and I was Saturday night walking up with the handcart and bringing the films up to the railway station for to be transported elsewhere to another cinema outlet for to be exhibited. And I used to leave the handcart above, and more often than not it was stolen.
At the railway. But I tell you this stuff.
Yeah.
My friends and I, my pals and I, when we'd see the handcart going up Sexton Street or going downtown, we couldn't believe that those little reels flung there now in cardboard boxes.
Yes.
That was the cinema in my childhood and your childhood was magic.
That's right.
I mean, the biggest punishment I could get from my mother or my father was, okay, no, they never pursued it, but they threatened me with it. No pictures next Saturday, if you.
Right.
Once a week we went.
That's right. But you see, in those times, I often relate about the war years, about jam jars. You could go into the Tivoli, and your collateral was 2 jam jars. Because glass was so scarce.
And who was the buyer in those days?
Paul Bernard owned the Tivoli.
But he wouldn't take the jam jars off you.
Oh, he would.
Would he?
So, yes.
And he was a big business celebrity.
That was collateral because the glass was worth money that time in those days, yes.
I thought it might be a fellow like Frederick Burke.
No,
guys.
Oh, that's right.
Mr. Bernard.
Paul Bernard and Coffee was another man there.
They take the jam jars off you?
Yes, it would, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the pound pot was worth a penny, and the 2 pound was worth 2 pence.
That's all. So with a 2 pound pot and a 1 pound pot, you could see the film and the falling up one.
That's right.
For the one.
Yeah.
God, that was big. Tell me, Seamus, I know now the bits of what we're going to talk about now, you and I, is known to the more senior members of our citizens.
Yeah.
But the first talkie in Limerick was where?
The first talkie in Limerick was in the Savoy, and to my knowledge, I'm up the correction, was in Brewster Millins. And the first musical was shown in the Coliseum Cinema. A great friend of mine who's ill at the moment, Jimmy O'Brien, worked there, and it was the Singing Fool.
Was that Al Johnson?
Al Johnson.
Was that the night that Mr. Goff owned it, didn't he?
That's right.
So the story goes with that it opened anyway, and the Coliseum, or the collar, as we called it.
That's right.
It's now the bell table.
That's right.
The collar was jammed. My father told me a mile long. They were waiting outside to hear about Al Johnson. He's singing in the jazz singer, was it? The Singing Fool.
Singing Fool, yeah.
But anyway, it broke down in the middle anyway, and of course all the boys were screaming and shouting for their money back. And he came out and he made an illustrious statement that's remembered many years after.
Yeah.
The thing is broke and he can't be worked. But they got it going anyway, and always was so. Well, that was the Coliseum. Yeah. And what other cinemas had you? I think Brewster's Millins, Jimmy Carter now could have.
Sorry, Jimmy. I was.
That was the first film at the Savoy, wasn't it?
I was with Jimmy this morning, and Jimmy is.
You tell me you're going on.
He's 87 years of age, and he's
not out as the same cricket.
No, he was 23 years of age. He came down from Dublin in 1936 and became the chief operator in the Savoy Cinema. And Dick Murphy from Cork came there as well.
That's right.
But he's well in himself.
He was Mr. Savoy for years, wasn't he?
Oh, God, he was.
Well, Jimmy, if you're looking in tonight or listening now, Seamus Houlihan and TOD, we send you our best wishes, you and your good lady, for many more years of happiness.
Oh, he was a grand character.
He was.
He was one of the youngest chief operator, which I'll come to something else later on. But he was the youngest chief operator at that time. And the famous cinema strike, of course, was in...
When was the big cinema strike in?
1951.
Before we go any further, Seamus, can I bring you back a little further now?
Yeah.
In the early days, the cinema was the thing. We all
That's
thought
right.
it was big, huge. But during Lent, or Sundays, when was the church wouldn't allow movies? On Sundays, was it? Or
Sundays only, yeah.
No cinemas on Sunday.
That's right, yeah.
And during Lent, there was no cinemas.
There's no cinemas, that's right.
And no dances.
No dances, that's
God, Limerick must have been a very dull place.
Oh, that's right.
And how did we get the cinemas going? Well, tell us what's the story. You know it better than I do.
Well, we had this strike in 1951. It lasted 26 weeks. Mm-hmm. The strike lasted 26 weeks. Mm-hmm. And there must have been brown envelopes around those times as well, because there was a council in the council proposed that Sunday films be allowed to be shown in Limerick. This was the only city in Ireland that there was no Sunday films at the time.
The only city in Ireland, down in Ireland.
That's right. And it was passed. Then they had to go to the clergy of the time, and they gave their blessing on condition that there'd be no cinema doors open until Sunday evening devotions.
After
open.
devotions.
Yeah. There was benediction and rosary on Sunday
Tell me,
night.
Seamus, where did the boys and girls, now I know, but as a lot of people looking in don't know, especially many of our younger listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
What did the boys and girls do for the 7 weeks of Lent when there's no dancing and no cinemas?
They just went out the country roads.
So that was a bigger temptation.
It was,
the pictures and so forth, there's no harm.
I remember a certain priest, Redemptorist, came down and gave us a lecture about quoting in the cinemas, and he had some of the management at the time cooperated with this priest and flashing quoting couples.
The back seats.
In the back seats. And as I said to him on the night, Father, say if you're going to get rid of them out of the cinemas, they're going out the country roads.
Yeah.
So what's the answer?
Four country roads.
What's the answer?
I know most of them. But anyway, what Seamus, I think now the councillor you referred to was Councillor Connery. He worked in Nesters.
That's right, yeah.
Because he often repaired a puncture in my bicycle.
That's right, John. A lovely guy.
A lovely man. And I tell you, his brother was Eddie. About City Theatre.
When Sunday films eventually came, you had film touts selling tickets outside the Savoy.
Is that so?
Of a Sunday night.
Black market?
Yeah, black market. But Eddie was a character too. But what Eddie used to do...
He was a doorman now, wasn't he?
That's right. God rest his soul. He was a character. What Eddie used to do, he used to buy some tickets out of his wages of a Friday.
Don't tell me you flogged him.
No. Eddie doesn't
But I know Eddie very well.
But
he wouldn't mind us saying that.
He'd buy so many tickets, and you'd come down at that time. I'm not being sexist when I say this now, but at the time we called the girlfriend the board. You know, and you'd ask Eddie any tickets. Eddie'd have them in his breast pocket, and I haven't any now at the moment. But go over to the Bedford, he said. And
the hotel now, or the maternity unit?
No, Jane, no, not the Bedford Hotel.
Oh, the Bedford Hotel, oh, sorry, yeah.
And you'll go over with the girlfriend, and you'll be waiting. Next, Eddie comes across for the ticket. And the price of the tickets in those days was 3 and 9, which was equivalent to 7 and 6 in old money. I know. And the old 10 shilling note was there. And you take out the 10 shilling note, and Eddie go rooting for the change. And you, to impress the girlfriend, you said, that's okay. He was up a half a club.
Yeah. But I tell you, getting back, but can I introduce a little story there now?
Yes.
During the strike, when was the strike? In the 50s, was it?
1951.
51. Do you know that at that time, the college players began a comedy called, a West End comedy called See How They Run? Paddy Benson from Prospect, you know Paddy? Liam's brother.
Yes.
Paddy starred in it, an excellent player. Oh, sorry, I withdraw. No, it wasn't See How They Run, it was The Private Secretary.
Yes.
It was with the Galvins, Kevin Deneen and all them. It was a great show. That ran for about, I think it was about 5 weeks. Because it ran while you were out.
Yeah.
While you were walking the roads.
Right,
the boys were inside cleaning up.
But you see, they had
I saw programs during it, actually.
They had people, Catholic Institute, or not the Catholic Institute, but the Institute there opposite the Franciscans.
Catholic Institute?
They used to show films. We had no objection to that.
No.
We had no objection as cinema workers.
But
as long as the employers wouldn't.
Yeah. But listen now, as I said repeatedly, wasn't the pictures, as we called it, this wasn't they huge? I remember queues at the Lyric going down around to where the Midwestern Heliport.
That's right.
And at the other side then, they'd go way off down towards the park.
Yeah.
I think the Conways were inside it, and the caretakers there.
You had the same thing in the Carlton off at the end there. You had them going up as far as the present George.
You did
the whole way.
You know who was a lovely man, God rest his soul. I think he was, you had all lovely doormen, it was, and the Connerys now. Yeah. You had that lovely man, Michael Ryan in the Savoy.
Michael Ryan, yeah.
Gentleman, wasn't
he? Oh God, he was great.
Love him out there in that, out near the Southern. And I think the daddy of them all, I know, as kids now in short pants, as you put it a while ago, there was one lovely man, and God, he was a saint of a man. And that was O'Donoghue below there.
Oh, Bill Donoghue, yeah. Well,
what was his name?
Bill
Donoghue.
Bill, he
huddled with Limerick.
That's right. He had a league medal, a national league medal with Limerick, and he was one of the first referees to have a back-to-back refereeing all that.
Oh, back-to-back.
You referee 2 in a row.
Oh, was that it? Oh, I was wondering, was it back then?
No,
Okay,
two in a row.
I was being frivolous.
Oh, that's right.
2 in a row,
yeah.
But then you had when you started in the Celt in 48, you had the Savoy. Now the Savoy were the first to introduce to Limerick regular, continuous films.
That's
wasn't
right,
it?
yeah.
And we couldn't believe it. I remember when I was a child, we couldn't believe. Whereas in your place now, you'd be thrown out at 5 o'clock, and they'd be 7 to 9, and then you were. And when you came out, there was a big queue waiting to go in, wasn't it?
Do you see in those times, Tom? There was continuous from 2:30 until 11 o'clock at night.
When it started first, Seamus.
And there was two films shown daily, every day, every show, from 2 to 11. And then when during the war years and after the war, there was a shortage of films, all to actors and actresses being called up for
the war.
Yeah, and then Cine Variety came in.
That's what sorry.
And that's what started things like Double or Nothing. Eamon Andrews and so
Blanche Tim.
And you had Tyke Small would be playing in the old
and Nicky Brin.
That's right.
But the story goes that people were so enthralled that they could pay their 4pence or their 8pence or a shilling, whatever it was, to the Savoy, and spend from 2:30 to 11 that night. And they did for the first 2 months until the novelty.
That's right.
Lads would cycle in out in the county and leave their bike and stay inside all day with a flask of tea, sandwiches.
That's right, yeah.
It was a great novelty.
Yeah.
Now, while we're talking now, I'll digress just for a moment. I'm still on the cinema. Excuse me, ladies, if I move out of frame now, because you brought this down with you tonight. And we'll show this now. If Darren now wouldn't mind putting a screen, where you're Darren. You brought this down tonight now.
That's right.
Darren, can we get that now in frame, the picture here? Is he about? Oh, yes, he is. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, yes, he is. Darren, will you bring on this now? This is a picture, framed poster that Seamus Houlihan brought down tonight. And if you look closely now, are we on the screen now? We are. We'll get it now in focus, because this is a collector's item that Mr. Houlihan has. Are we on screen now? Are we on? All right. The Tivoli Cinema, Monday and Tuesday, January the 25th and 28th at 3:45, 45 and 9 p.m. Double cross. And it says here, this is how now they advertise Martian. But I'll have to get my head around like a giraffe to get the message across to you folks. When it comes to entertainment, nobody does it all. K. Francis in Playgirl, before your time now, it was. And Jean Hersholt, Dr. King, they meet again. Where none of these, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, none of these made Carol Lombard and Robert Manca, but none of these made a big time, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were just running them in. What's very interesting now here is the prices of admission. Folks, are you listening outside now? Prices of admission to the Tivoli. 2pence, 3pence, 4pence, 7pence. And if you were a snob, you brought the girl up in the 9 pennies upstairs. And when the show was over at 11, you'd walk down the stairs with an expression of disdain at the common herd coming out who only paid 4pence. And you brought the girl up and paid 9pence to 9pence, 1 and 6pence. Those were the days when the Tivoli was king. Well, I keep saying here...
just on the bottom there, they're advertising the following week's programme.
Oh, I missed that, did I?
Mickey Rooney in Boystown.
Mickey Rooney in Father Flanagan.
I remember that film that came, Boystown, to the Savoy. Father Flanagan.
Father Flanagan.
Was on a fundraising mission.
In Limerick.
And God bless my mother, she never went to films, but I brought her down to see that film. And the reason being, I wasn't a singer now, but I was part of a group of
I'll put this back now.
6th Street choir, and we sang on the stage, and Father Flanagan gave the lecture on fundraising, and the film came after that.
Well, of course, he had a dual purpose in coming to Limerick.
Yeah.
He also came at the behest of an organisation to investigate incidents that were happening in our industrial schools in Ireland.
Right. Yeah.
And he went back and he'd have made a big change and altered the lives of many people, even many boys in Limerick, unfortunately. Father Flanagan, but he died.
That's right.
And the thing went back until recently.
One of his famous sayings, there's no such thing as a bad boy. That's, he always said that.
Now, Seamus, will you take a sip of that now? You seem to be drying up like myself. The days
Thank you.
of the cinema in Limerick. By the way, now, just getting away from the business side of it. Hadn't the cinemas at this football? There was uptown cinemas.
Oh, that's right.
And downtown.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, now, did the uptown employees? Did you look down on the fellas who worked in the Tivoli and the Thomond?
No, the reason they were called uptown is that the Coliseum,
well, on the
Lyric,
up top of William Street,
the Lyric, and the Royal and the Savoy was considered uptown.
Okay.
And the other cinemas was at the other side of the city. And the only time we could play would be Holy Week. Ash Wednesday.
Is that all?
Ash Wednesday. We'd play that match, and it was a hilarious match because I remember we played in the Old Crescent grounds, and we had to. It was Old Crescent had the grounds that time, and
the entrance was in Dixon's Lane.
That's right, and there was rugby posts, and we had to put ropes across.
I know.
Make goal,
I know.
Soccer goal posts.
Tell me at the top of your head now.
Yeah.
You're uptown. Who's down in the uptown? Quickly now. Larry and Casey.
Larry Casey would be
yourself.
Jimmy O'Brien, who's in hospital.
Yeah. Who else?
My uncle Paddy Flanagan. You had Patsy Colopy.
Was there Mr. Franklin?
Benny Franklin.
Benny Franklin?
No. Benny, no.
Patsy Colopy.
Patsy Colopy.
Who was in goal?
With
either one.
Paddy Flanagan. My uncle.
Go ahead.
But the Flanagans there and the Floods.
Was that when Errol Connolly is giving tons of publicity on the either? It was a big event of the year, like the Cambridge Oxford Rowing in England.
That's right.
The uptown and downtown cinemas.
That's right.
The Bog.
Well, we used to have an annual challenge with the Dublin cinemas then.
Oh, you did.
And that just they'd come to us one year and we go to them another year. And there's some hilarious happenings
ensued.
I remember we went to Dublin one year and the band failed to turn up, and practicing above Liberty Hall was the brass and reel band of the Transport Union, which John Kettle who became president of the old Transport Union. He was a branch secretary at the time and he was playing his trombone. And we were dancing around a brass and reel band that night.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you had plenty of old waltzes anyway. The Blue Danube. Although I couldn't see you waltzing to Colonel Bogey or all comrades.
No.
We have him now. I have to fly on with our conversation. We can talk for hours at a slow pace. But I have a picture here now, ladies and gentlemen, that Seamus brought down. And Darren, will you focus in now on this for a moment, if you please? I'll hold it up now for the viewers, that is, and of course the listeners aside now will fill you in. I'm going to hold this picture up now. Now, is it coming out on screen there now? And say to one, if you will, Seamus and I will talk about it. Now, how are you doing? Are you getting a good picture of that now? Right? Those who are watching it. Right? Is a good picture going out now, Darren? Right. I'll talk now to Seamus. Seamus, this picture we have here now, we can't see. Number one now. Can I take a chance now?
Yes,
you do know who they are.
Yeah, I know somebody.
I've been chancing my arm all my life, and especially now since we went on television here. Was that Tom English?
That's Tom English, yeah.
That was Dr. Cooper.
That's right.
Former Kilmallock. Michael Ryan, the man I spoke to. Who's that man?
Benny Franklin.
Is that Benny Franklin? Oh, that's his daughter's married to Butch Raleigh.
Yeah.
I have you. Who's that?
He was a manager. No, I can't put it.
Look at Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter, yeah.
A fine looking youth.
That's right.
God bless us. Now, who's that beautiful girl?
Farrell was her name.
Was she Farrell?
Yeah.
Is that Johnny McMahon, the fiddle player?
I don't know that man. No.
Who's that? That's Dick Murphy.
Dick Murphy. God rest his soul. Yeah, that's right.
Lovely man.
Yeah.
And who's that chap there? We're going through the personnel of the photograph now of cinema people. That man there, Donegal Ali.
Donegal Ali is right.
Oh, the man, the free education. His nephew should have been the real teacher, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, there's no free education now, Tom.
No. That's Alec Farrell.
That's Alec Farrell.
We can sell Frankie Sarfield and his brother Tom and the best stage managers.
That's right.
We have it.
And the middleman there.
No, we'll go through nothing left. Who's that beautiful lady there?
Well, I don't know.
Who's that beautiful lady there?
There's May Birmingham is in
May Birmingham. There's May Birmingham. I had her on the radio once. Who's that lady there?
He's another girl there.
Who's that lady?
No, I don't know that girl. That's
the man in the middle now.
John Carew.
John of Carew Park in Limerick.
He had a shop there in William Street.
Yeah, he still has.
Yeah.
A thorough gentleman. Yeah. A lovely. Himself and J.C. Duggan.
He was involved in the Irish Royal Products.
He was. Himself and J.C. Duggan married two sisters, the Donnellans. That's right. Now, who's that lady there?
I don't know that lady. No, I don't know her name, but
that's Mick Keys.
This was a director of the Savoy.
Isn't that Mick Keys?
No.
And who's that lady there?
No, I don't know that lady. And this chap here, somebody tells me it's supposed to be Paddy Kelly from a counselor, but to me,
I wouldn't say this. I know Paddy well.
No.
That's now right, folks. Now I have another photograph here now, and I'm going to go through again. And maybe we'll just show it to them. Some of you may see it, those who are on television. But those who are listening will hear the same, be processed with the same information, ladies and gentlefolk. Now, hold on. This was taken...
this one of our reunions we had there 2 years ago. You were at that, yeah.
Oh, yes. Now...
And this girl here...
Who's that? Yes, who's that lady?
She worked in the Gabriel. She worked above in the Royal. In the
Royal,
shop,
yes.
Nancy Griffin.
And
this girl, she worked above.
She's still in the Savoy, but on Bedford Road.
No, she's retired now from it now.
That lady?
And that's my sister who died there 2 weeks ago.
She did.
She worked in the Royal.
Her daughter danced to Christmas crackers with me, Miriam.
Miriam, yeah. And Ray Griffin, who died as well.
Yes.
He's dead 2 years. And of course,
and in the back row there, is that James Stewart?
James Stewart.
In the back. Oh, he went to the function.
Stuart Granger.
That's a photograph now.
Yes,
I thought he might have been a guest appear. And look at yourself and you in your finery.
Yeah.
And you're what you call?
Paddy Graney here.
Nice man, lovely man.
He worked in the Tom and also worked in the...
And that lady's still around?
That's my wife.
Is that Geraldine?
That's Geraldine.
She's a lovely girl.
Yeah.
She sounds very nice on the phone and a lovely person.
Yeah.
And who's that man in the back?
Michael Madigan. He was president of number 2 branch of the union.
And he's more over here again.
Yeah.
More.
That's that photograph there is of Denny Hayes, who was doorman above in the Royal. Remember his son?
And his son was Joe Hayes at O'Mahony's. He left us early.
And this person here, she was Kay Milan, Manchester.
Yes.
And that's myself in my young days.
My God, you're a fine looking look. God generally know what she was doing when she gave you ladies' choice.
Well, I had here then, Tom. But this girl, Kay Hanley, she'd be a sister of the chemist.
Go away. And who's that chap there that's all smiles? Mulcahy. Lovely. You have lovely pictures here, Seamus. People should keep their photos. I'm always saying that.
Yeah.
They're lovely memories, isn't there, photos?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
That's why my house is full of lorry loads of them. Now, is this the Uptown team or downtown?
That's the Uptown team.
Is that Paddy Flood?
That's...
Tis, in gold.
Paddy Flood, yeah. That's Joe Flood here.
Joe, his brother, lovely brother family.
His other brother is here.
Oh, that's Danny Mooney?
No, that's John Kelly.
John Kelly, the Sparks in the Savoy?
That's him.
In the city there?
In the city there.
Who's that guy up there?
Kevin Keogh.
I have him. Conopy.
Patsy Conopy.
And you're, oh my God, you're a fine looking fella, Seamus. Larry, smiling Larry.
Jimmy O'Brien.
That was a lovely man.
And Tommy Lynch. His son now is Tommy's son.
Soccer manager.
Player manager of the present Limerick.
Of the Limerick team.
Soccer team.
And look at yourself there. And that's Larry.
Larry Case, yeah. I always associate Larry. I thought he was a very handsome chap. Robert Taylor.
That's all.
Looking, and
all the boys alluded to him.
Yeah.
Such as they do, of course, about Billy Higgins. You know Billy Higgins, the draper?
Yes.
They say that he was Mr. John Steed. Yeah, the local John Steed. And a lovely man, Billy, who did a lot for soccer in Limerick. Yeah. Well, now, another aspect of your very brief, we'll have to fly through it now because time is marching on. It's not marching, it's galloping on. Seamus, by the way, I'd like to make it just in passing. You're in the Scouts, of course.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. They put their finger on you.
Yeah.
Scouts. They're doing all of us, left and mess. And who was your bosses in those days?
Jackie Brosnan.
And
Willie O'Loughlin.
Two lovely people.
A very nice guy. He was SPL, Michael Kiley.
Motor engineer.
That's right.
Sure. You couldn't go. No wonder you're the man that you are today when you came up under their direction.
Well, Jackie was a gentleman, so was Willie.
And so was Kiley. We always joking with me.
We had lovely times in the Boy Scouts.
Scouts. It's wonderful. I passed by the park yesterday. I was up there. I go to the park regularly for a walk and fresh air, Beautiful up in the park. They're beautifully kept.
I must compliment the park staff.
The rangers.
And who's responsible for the park.
Michael Holland, is it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the man up there, the young chap up there is young Burke. Larry Burke, I think, from Waller's Welder.
Yes.
He looked at. They got in 1,000 gladioli. I think that's the plural of gladiola. I don't know. That's your ridge. During the week, they got them in. Beautiful. And park is looking lovely. But I was up there and I met young Joe McKeown. He's head man at St. Joseph's. They had a big day yesterday. St. Joseph's School still going strong in Reeves's path. Well, now then, you got involved in trade unionism too, didn't you?
Oh, I did, yeah. Very much so. Yeah.
Representing what, the movie industry?
Yes, exactly, yeah. And went on to be on the executive of the Region 4, which embraces Limerick, Tipperary and Cork.
Cinema?
Kerry, yeah.
And he is active as ever?
Oh, great, yeah. I'm still involved on the retirement side of it now. There's a senior citizens Irish Parliament.
Is there?
Organised for the past 2 years.
Are you representing Limerick?
At the moment, yeah.
Are you?
And there's 70,000 at the moment of senior citizens. But the assessment we've made is that there's 600,000 senior citizens in the country.
Yes.
And if these people could be mobilised, irrespective, it is non-political now, Tom, irrespective of their political beliefs or allegiance, if these people could be
very strong force,
they would, and they'd be as strong as the farming community were down through the years. They could play one off against the other, and I feel that it's really necessary. And anybody, while I'm on the air and on television, if anybody wants any information about the Senior Citizens Parliament
and their entitlements,
they can contact me. I'm on the
book. You're in the book.
My number is 417059, and if you fail to put it down now, you can get me on the book. I'm in the book. And I'll give you whatever information.
Keys Park. They'll find in the book. Well, now that's good, and I'm glad you're doing something for the old people. And
I don't like the word old people.
Okay, I don't use it. I don't use it freely. I don't use it freely. But I mean, I use the word seasoned.
Yeah, seasoned.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
But
But anyway, I'm glad you're doing that for our seasoned friends. But anyway, in addition, God, Seamus, you were a very active life, all the same, no?
I love it. I enjoy it. I do. And walking is. I recommend walking to.
Were you in the mini marathon the weekend or something?
No, I go for the longer ones.
Oh, big deal.
Well, I've done the Dublin Marathon 5 times already now.
Is that running or walking?
Walking.
Yeah.
But you get great personal satisfaction out of doing it. But the bonus is if you do it for something worthwhile, charity.
Charity, exactly.
And I always pick out a different charity every year.
Oh. And who was your most recent charity?
Last year was the Wheelchair Association.
Wheelchair, yeah.
Local now.
Local, yeah.
Because I wouldn't go for the national at all. And the reason being is, as you well know, Tom, we had a big charity walk there with the Boy Scouts some years ago. And going back, 25, maybe 30 years ago or more. It was more, 35 years ago.
What happened?
And the money goes to Dublin, and what comes back is minimal.
Yeah.
I remember your brother Kevin was on one of those, and he was the Pied Piper.
See?
And,
the bagpipes. Oh, the tin whistle.
Tin whistle, and we were all marching after.
God help us.
Oh, it's a lovely fella, lovely guy.
But one other thing I have to say, Seamus, didn't you have a political stint for a while?
I did, that's right. I was co-opted onto God rest his soul, Jim Kimmy, who, in my opinion...
Did you? Were you co-opted in Jim Kimmy's place?
In my opinion, was one of the greatest politicians. We'll never see the like of him again.
Ah, straight man.
Yeah.
He was indeed.
Grand guy.
But did you enjoy your period?
I did. I felt I was happy doing what I tried to do. I got something done, and I didn't get other things done. But I was disappointed with being defeated by 60 odd votes, but in hindsight I was well off. I'm pleased that for obvious reasons.
Well, may I make it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved. You went for it, and you're still a young, active, lively man, and you're putting your spare time to good use with the, as you say yourself, the retirement people of your own area in the country, and you're very, very happy. Now, off the top of my head now, in your opinion, I want to go back to the cinemas now again.
Yes.
What was the most successful film ever to come to Limerick City, Seamus?
Well, if you ask me, my favourite film would
that ran for so long
would be Gone with the Wind.
Box office wise?
Yeah, Gone with the Wind. And I think that the musical score of that will always go down in my mind as one of the greatest music, Tara's Theme. And it's a beautiful to hear that music being played, Tara's Theme.
Tara's Theme.
If you ask me, on the western side, I think Shane was the greatest Western I've ever seen. We had Brandon Newell, who was he was only a little kid.
That was during the star system now, when a name drew the crowds.
And he was killed tragically in his teenage days afterwards. After Van Heflin was in it.
Tell me, Seamus, sorry to interrupt you, but you film buffs, when you get talking about films, because I know several in the city and you know them, they can go in, they're like human directories and that with knowledge.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you now, the story about Father Barrett and the lyric, was that true?
Oh, about King Kong.
King Kong, the church is empty.
King Kong, lyric full. Ding dong, the chapel empty.
Ding dong, the church is empty. King Kong,
that's right.
The father and the lyric is full.
That's right.
So that really happened.
Oh, it is, yeah.
King Kong was on across the road.
That's right, yeah.
And the church was empty.
The old King Kong film, that's right.
God knows I. Yeah. Well, you know what else, Seamus? You're a great breed of people down the cinema, attached to the cinema business, and you were very courteous in the cinemas and very helpful to the people, and handling unruly people like all of us. I mean, fighting down the mall, waiting till the man came along with the key to open the door to Tivoli, and the word queue hadn't been invented. A mad rush, mall size, to Tivoli. We're trying to get in, and what used to drive us mad was, I might as well tell you now, my old mind ticking back. After we break our necks, been there since 1 o'clock, about 2 hours queuing up to get in. The lady would come along and she'd walk along, Mrs. Griffith.
Mrs. Griffith, that's right. Yeah.
Stout lady, God bless her. And she'd come along and we'd be outside and our noses up to the window, we all had our tuppence in our hand, or our fourpence, I don't know which. And we looking in, and she'd be getting ready to sell the tickets to all us gurriers. And what was she doing? Making up her hair, makeup, and powder, and she looked in a little mirror. Yeah. And waiting, I said, look, she's only dolling herself up for a show of all of us on youngsters from school, and we were roaring and screaming, and then a man would come along with a bicycle, and he had to make his way through the crowd of kids with his bike to shove it in the hall.
That's right.
And then we went in, and of course when we went in there was mayhem when the falling up one came. Perils of Pauline and Flash Gordon.
Buck Rogers,
Flash Gordon. They were all great.
But could I just take the opportunity of mentioning that we will have a reunion again
before you go
of the ex-cinema workers sometime in October, and hopefully we'll get some of one of the greatest film buffs before he became the star he is now was Richard Harris.
Oh, he was. That's how he met Rhys Gam in the street.
That's right.
And he took her photo, and Errol Connolly printed it.
That's right.
And he met her years after. I remember he telling us that.
I've met Dickie on numerous occasions, and hopefully there'll be a special rugby match being played that weekend in Limerick, because he's a life member of Young Munsters.
Yes.
The only thing about Dickie is anytime he went to a Young Munster match, Young Munster lost.
Now listen, Seamus Houlihan, I want to thank you very much for being a guest in town tonight on my programme, because you're a Limerick man. I've had great respect for you all your life. You were always a very nice, gentle man, and you were very respected in the cinema business, and then you worked in trade union circles, and now you said you're helping with retirement people, so you're making use of your time. And I want to thank you very much for being my guest tonight and for recording all the memories of the Tivoli and the Thomond.
It was my pleasure, Tom.
And I leave with one last memory of those days. Do you know that at one stage there was a question time? You remember when question times were popular with Joel and Lane?
That's right.
There was a question time on patrons of the Tivoli versus the Thomond, 6 from each. The Bogs versus the Thomond fellas, and it was held in the Thomond. Yeah. And the compere of the show was, I think was Eamon Clancy. No, it was not a social event of centuries. Listen, Seamus, thank you so much. May I shake your hand and wish you and your wife Geraldine happiness and joy.
It was my pleasure.
Yes, and please God, we'll keep in touch and wish you success in everything you attempt.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll fade out there now on Seamus Houlihan, a good Limerick man, so active in the retirement movement, and you're back now to TOD, and Seamus will be highly entertained outside in the reception area, where we look after our guests well. So well that sometimes they have to be escorted home. We treat them so well. And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. TOD back now to bring you more music, and I'll tell you what I have now. I have something lined up for you, and what we'll have now is That's right, Seamus, out that way now. You'll get lost on the way out in the corridors here. I have some music here for you now, and I'll ask Darren, if he'll hand them over to me. Darren, I want to play some music. 1 or 2 pieces. There you are, good man, there you are. Oh, excuse me, folks. And you have it ready there now. I'm going to play you 1 or 2 pieces of music now for a start. And then I'm going to play some television for you. And I look up behind me at the clock, and we still have time to have more music and fun and games and little tidbits of television. And I hope you're all very happy, whether you're listening or viewing, that you're all terribly, terribly happy.